Alright, hey guys, this is Maros TCG back to the video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to play Tearlaments ISHIZU. So I'm just going to show you a test hand, and then from there, I'm going to teach you guys how to play with it. And yeah, let's get started here. So here, I'm going to use Keldo in order to pitch Kalbeck. So just remember that Kalbeck's going to be the card that in order to mill, and Keldo here is able to discard another fairy monster in order to special summon itself out, and then it doesn't add a fairy monster, but it's able to add a monster that mentions exchange of the spirit. So then here I can get a Gaido. I'm gonna mill. So summon a Gaido here, and then a Gaido is able once it gets summoned. So a Gaido actually gets special summoned because cards were milled from the deck to the grave because of Kalbeck, and then I can use a Gaido here in order to special summon itself out. And then I use, because I managed to mill 2 Tearlaments, it doesn't really matter too much what 2 they are, so as long as they're not Rhino Heart. From there you can just fusion summon into Kakalos, and then use Kakalos here in order to search out a Tearlament monster. Then I can go into Diviner of the Herald to ditch whatever fairy, so there's only the fairy monsters, so I decided to go into Medora because that's the only one I haven't activated the effect for, so I decided to just do that. Then from there I was able to synchro summon into Baron the Floor, and then I got my Abyss Dweller as well. So that's pretty great. Again, Abyss Dweller is just pretty solid way of just dealing with your opponent in case for the mirror matchup. Whoever gets this up first is going to be winning by quite a bit, unless you're able to get rid of it before they're able to activate anything. And that's why you want a non-disruption card. Or you want a card that they can't really interact with, like Super Polymerization or Forbidden Droplet, just to deal with the Abyss Dweller. Yeah, also just because, you know, obviously I'm going to be milling my opponent's cards, and here they would be milling Tearlaments or whatever they're, or the ISHIZU cards. Just know I do have some of my own. Obviously I have some of the ISHIZU cards that are able to shuffle those cards back into the deck, so when your opponent tries to activate their effects in order to whatever they're trying to do with the Tearlament monsters, whether they're trying to fusion summon or what have you, you can just use the ISHIZU cards in order to shuffle them back into the deck. So then from here, I'm going to use Kakala's effect in order to mill. Then I use Rhino Heart's effect as well. So here I can actually fuse. So I chose to fuse twice here because I did manage to mill two Tearlament cards, so just make sure you keep track of like which Tearlament monsters you've already used to fuse, because those are each once per turn. So then from here I got my Kaleido Heart, and then I got my Dragostopelia. So then I can use Baron the Floor in order to pop my own card. So the great thing about that is just, you know, since Baron the Floor pops Tearlament Kaleido Heart, its effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard by card affecting its special on this card, and if you do send one Tearlament's card from your deck to the grave. So being able to use Baron the Floor is just a nice way of just activating this effect, but you can also get it back, which is pretty easy. And the nice thing about this is that if you do have the field spell, that's another way of doing that, because the field spell does let you pop a card on the board, and it doesn't have to be your opponent's side, so you can actually pop Kaleido Heart yourself by using that card. But this is another great way. Just use Baron the Floor here in order to pop it. Then from here, I'm going to be ditching the Tearlament Scream. So the great thing about ditching Tearlament Scream is that it lets you add one Tearlament Trap from your deck to your hand. So it doesn't really matter which one you decide to go for. I think personally that Tearlament Solic is the best one, just because it's the imperm for the deck. And then yeah, from here, this is basically going to be the end board. You can see that I have Dragostopelia, that is essentially a monster negate. Baron the Floor is an omni negate. Abyss Dweller punish, you know, just prevents my opponent from using the grave. And then Tearlament's Kaleido Heart isn't able to do too much here, but by using Tearlament Solic here, we can see that, you know, where it serves as an imperm, but it also requires you to send one monster you control to the grave. So the great thing about that is that you can use this card in order to send Kaleido Heart into the grave. And then once you do that, if this card is sent to the grave by a card effect, you can special summon it out. And if you do, send one Tearlament card from your deck to the grave, and then from there you can continue, like, extend it whichever way you want. And just for you guys to know, like, another great way of there's different ways that I could have played this. Obviously, I could have gone into Sprite Alpha, or decided to go into Sprite Alpha instead of the Dragostopelia. And the great thing about Sprite Alpha is that I would have been able to special summon my level 2 Herald Diviner, and then from there, if I had Elder Entity Nest in my extra deck, so that's a great way if you want to include that. That's a great way of just having an extra interaction during your opponent's turn, because you're able to use Sprite Alpha in order to special summon your Diviner Herald from the grave, and then use it in order to pitch the Elder to the nest, and then from there pop a card. So again, just more interactions that you can add. But let me know what you guys think about this video. I hope it's just a short way of showing you a test hand, but also kind of breaking you down how you play the deck. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.